effectively the Cuban native. And of course, it's an electric fastball. It's command of a very good changeup that dips down, Jose Mota, about what, -7 or 8 miles an hour when it's right?
Yes, and the main thing is, and talking to so many hitters in the other league for years, and what they describe to me, Darren, is it disappears, but what really fools you is he whips the arm so strongly and so consistently, everything looks the same.
Also has pretty good tilt on his breakable as well.
He's got a nice whipping action with that arm and uses that towel drill to make sure he goes right over the top.
That's almost unfair. 96 on the outside corner.
Jay Lagares and Schebler in the outfield for the Angels. Gosh, that looked like he side wheeled on him
with
there.
a little different arm angle. That
Come on, Laredo.
Look at Barnes' reaction.
It's like, oh man, I saw that fastball 96 over the top. Now you drop down.
Infielders Gosselin, Mayfield, Rojas, and Walsh, third to first for the Angels. Stassi still catching.
Boy, would you ever try to drop down, throw a breakable from that arm angle? That'd be a tough one to deal with.
There's that changeup, 90 miles an hour. Foul ball.
Darren, you remember the name Pedro Lazo?
Yes, I do.
Big time Cuban closer. I mean, one of their heroes in international tournaments. That is the guy that Raisel Iglesias looked up to, and he was a mentor to him. And wow, Pedro could bring it at 95, 98 when he was 40 years old easily.
Ooh, he did drop down and throw the slider from that arm angle. Wow. They almost got a chase. That was well out of the strike zone. So to be able to throw two different types of sliders with a changeup like that and two types of fastballs, that's why Joe Maddon will be comfortable letting him try to get 4, maybe 5 outs to finish off a game. Not the conventional 3 outs in the 9th inning.
And Gooby, we got to pay attention early in the season to, the load on these pitchers and the jump they'll make from the short season to now.
Yeah, we talked starters that way. Same thing with bullpen arms, getting up and down and staying fresh.
Yes.
Had a tough time seeing Signs under the lights the other night. He's getting more comfortable. It happened early on in this inning, but I think he's worked through it.
I had some issues with certain catchers. There was times where I'm thinking,
just burying their hands.
And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's a 3, 2, or 1. I'm just going to throw a cut fastball, even though I didn't throw it. So it was in between my fastball and slider. I'm thinking, you know what? You just react as a catcher because you can't see it, especially at old Yankee Stadium was tough.
This is with Ben Boom the other night. He's pointing at the light saying, okay, you kind of had the digits buried. Maybe you can lift it into the light just a little bit.
Make sure there's a translator there. That's Jose Iglesias.
Sometimes you can just go with taps too. If you can't see the sign, just taps on the thigh.
Austin Barnes walks that last pitch.
That's a pretty good at bat by him.
97 miles an hour. Baseball stadium lighting elite certainly at both of these stadiums, but you've been in spring training, you've been doing your work. DJ Peters hits now. Southern California native, talented hitter.
A lot of the stadiums before used to have that longer backstop, so that was more difficult to see. Like Yankee Stadium, if you threw a wild pitch, you had to run forever to get back there if you were a catcher. That made it more difficult to read signs. Now with most ballparks now built where you want fans almost on top of play, you don't see that anymore. Dodger Stadium, the same thing.
Yeah, they added nine rows there.
Didn't Kirk Gibson go home from second base one time on a wild pitch at Dodger Stadium, as I recall?
He did. I'm intrigued, and we can just keep watching, and we can watch throughout the early part of the year. If you're a catcher and you're giving a sign to a pitcher and it's a completely different arm angle, albeit both are fastballs, do you need to give a different sign?
Yeah, I used to, with a certain fastball, you would go the regular one, or if they make the circle action as far as a fastball, to have a little different arm angle. So you could react as a catcher and be able to either frame it well or be able to block it.
I like this changeup here. This is a really good changeup, Gooby.
The arm action, going back to what Jose said
That's
earlier.
Exactly right, Jose.
The arm angle and action with it. Thinking fastball, and next thing you know, it's 89. 88, 89, 90. It's all about the arm action. Boy, and then you can throw that breaker ball at that speed as well. A lot to like about Raisel Iglesias in that role. I remember seeing him with the Reds. I'm thinking, I love this kid. I was shocked that he was available, and it was a good pickup by Perry Manassian.
There's one thing, though, for me that you have to make sure of if you're the Angels as it pertains to Iglesias. Be ahead a lot so you can use him.
Yeah. Yes. Very important. You know what? That is perfection.
Yeah, you're not going to get that kind of analysis on every show, folks.
No.
That's what I'm bringing as the third analyst on this show.
Zero chance to be able to match that.
Darren, that was so enlightening. Thanks for reminding me.
Be ahead a lot so you can use your closer.
Get some runs.
Folks, if you want to sound smart by the water cooler tomorrow, use that one.
Or you can use that one to score one more run than your opponent. And you're in. You're gold.
Kind of went topper on me there. Kind of tried to top me, didn't you?
No, I can't do that.
It's
impossible.
Dodgers lead it 6-1. Change up. My goodness. All right, Jose, you take this one. Gooby took the last one. You take breaking down this change up. My goodness.
Arm speed, yes. Release point, yes. But also look at his eye. Steady, right to that target. Stay right on target. Look at the finish. Your eyes dictate direction. They're big about that with the Cuban pitching coaches.
Rex looks at a changeup that dives down and away. Kind of reacted almost as if it was a fastball. It was just that late movement, and it was 89 miles an hour.
Well, his slider so far, spin rate 2,600 on a slider, well above the average around 2,400 for a slider.
Zach 4 of 18 this spring, has in the past been a contributor in spring training for the Dodgers. As a matter of fact, 435 career on base. Had a big spring last year. And obviously minor league baseball lost the ability to play baseball. Change up, threw it hard.
He's so great, Darren and Gooby, you know very well, to get those kids back to getting their reps in.
Oh my gosh, Jose, so true.
It's the only way you get better. Absolutely the only way to get better is playing this game against the best competition in the world.
Hey, you know what? And to make a living.
David Price didn't pitch in the opener of this Freeway Series as he was supposed to. And he'll pitch out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. But that great story about Price just taking every single player in the Dodgers minor leagues and sending them $1,000. Let me help you with some bills if I can.
About Shin So Shu, the Texas Rangers, same thing.
Line drive, left field, base hit.
It's the thing. Iglesias keeps telling himself, talking to himself, keeping the front shoulder in, not allowing that fastball to flatten out, more lateral movement instead of sinking movement.